Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. And we are pleased to welcome you here for an MCTV production of this afternoon's soccer game between the homestanding Montgomery College Raptors in white, and they're taking on their longtime rival, the Howard Community College Dragons. I'm Michael Brown, and I'll be calling the action this afternoon. And we are just about set to get underway. The starters are being introduced right now for both teams, and we'll run that down for you in just a moment. The Raptors come into this match with a record of 3-6-1 overall. Howard comes into this match. They've only played 4 matches so far this season. They are 1-4. Howard is 1-2 in the conference. The Raptors are 2-2-1 in the conference. So we are just about set to get underway. And let's introduce the starters for Howard. Number 0, Alexa Sosa. Number 2, Ashley Osorio. Number 3, Alexis Smithson. Number 4, Aquatazi Hernandez Tapia. Number 7, Madeline Chavez. 8, Kylie O'Kay. 10, Yaslin Ortiz Cruz. Number 15, Susie Velasquez. Number 16, Lucy Segovia. And in goal for Howard this afternoon is Kahinde Akinsinwa. Head coach for Howard is Jose Benitez. He took over the job in 2023, so this is his second season as head coach. His assistants are Shannon Riley, Diana Paez Ortiz, and Lorena Villacorta. Let's take a look at the starters for the Raptors. Still filling in a couple of those slots. In goal for the Raptors this afternoon will be number 0, Natalie Nunez Fleitas. And we are underway. Raptors in white and Howard in the burgundy. That's Emma Grace Massini there, number 15, another one of the starters for the Raptors. Raptors have had some problems on defense this season, mainly injury related. Raptors lost their last match on Tuesday to Anne Arundel on the road, 3-1. And Howard lost their last match on the road in Frederick. They lost that one 5-0. So both teams need a win coming in. Let's run down the starters for the Raptors. We mentioned Fleitas in goal. Number 2, Natalie Salvador. Number 7, Kendra Wochin. We'll be talking quite a bit about Kendra, I have a feeling, as the match goes on. We'll explain that to you in a moment. Number 8, Cassiani Fernandez de Silva. Number 10, Stephanie Barrios. Number 11, Natalie Zambrano. Number 15, Emmy Grace Massini. Number 19, Catherine Cortez Aquino. And number 23, Isabel Watson. Head coach for the Raptors is Licia Holzendorf. Licia is in her first season as head coach for the Raptors. She was an assistant the last couple of seasons. Her assistants are Dennis Shart, Christian Mejia, and Erica Klein. We're underway from the beautiful soccer facility here on the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. And the Raptors on the attack. Be a throw in for the Raptors on the far side. Emmy Grace Massini will do the honors. It's a cloudy, warm, and humid day. Very humid out. We're expecting a lot of rain over the weekend because of the hurricane coming up the East Coast. But today we've got a dry one so far. We hope it stays that way. Although the Raptors do play on a turf field, which helps out if there is inclement weather. There's Natalie Zambrano with it. 16, Emily Garcia serves that one up. And that's going to go out. And it'll be Raptors with the throw in. If you're new to soccer, it is a continuous clock unless there is an official timeout for a hydration break or, God forbid, an injury. The clock will be a continue. Ooh, there's a good opportunity for the Raptors. Oh, just wide. Just wide. Number 10, Stephanie Barrios. Raptors got a great look there. Breakdown on defense by Howard. And that'll set up a goal kick for the Dragons. Raptors keeping it in their end. Raptors also have Amelia Webb in the game right now, number 9. That's Kendra Wochin. Kendra is the top scorer on the Raptors with 13 goals, which puts her 5th in NJCAA Division I. The Raptors are a Division I program. Howard is a Division II program. So even though they compete in Maryland JUCO, they compete in Region 20, they will not play each other in the postseason. So this will be their only meeting of the season. And that's just over the crossbar. So the Raptors with 2 shots on goal early, 2 good opportunities, but have yet to convert. Raptors are averaging 2.80 goals per match. Howard is averaging less than 2 goals a match. So a lot to be exact. And that's going to be a foul on Howard as Massini was tripped. That'll give the Raptors a free kick. Wojcik, 7. Wojcik is from Laurel High School, or Laurel, Maryland, South Carroll High School. Pointing in, out for the ball, having control. Nice footwork there by Natalie Zambrano. Sorry, that was Stephanie Darius. Raptors with the throw in. No score. We're just underway. About 8 minutes in. Wojcik. Aggressive. Nice pass to Barrios on the wing. And that'll be Raptors ball. Throw in. Not wasting any time. And not sure if that was a shot or a pass. Either way, it hit the back of the goal. But Raptors will retain possession. And they'll have a corner. The first corner of the match for Montgomery College. It's up. Ooh. Wojcik with the header. It's hot. quite the international roster. That's emblematic of Montgomery College. Montgomery College has students from all over the world. Over 150 countries are represented on the 3 Montgomery College campuses, plus the various remote locations within Montgomery County, of course. Ooh, dangerous play there. And the keeper, boy, she was almost out of position. She had a collision in within the 18, and then was slow to get up. And the Raptors almost had a wide open goal in front of them. She and Barrios got tangled up. Another opportunity. Not quite. Another, ooh, just a little high. The entire half, but have yet to convert. Another goal kick for Howard. About 15 minutes into this one. 2 45-minute halves, 90 minutes total. And the Raptors set it back up. Smithson has to take it away. Foot race. Velasquez and Rochin. And Velasquez is down. They have stopped the clock. So Susie Velasquez, like perhaps an ankle, but I don't want to speculate. Here comes their trainer. Raptors are actually leaving the pitch while Velasquez is tended to. And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown along with you to bring you MCTV's coverage of today's Montgomery College versus Howard Community College women's soccer match. Raptors leading 2-0 at halftime. They totally dominated the first half of play. Just about 10 shots on goal for the Raptors. They converted 2. Both goals were scored by Cassiani, Fernandez de Silva, and both goals were assisted by Stephanie Barrios. Howard did not have a shot on goal in the first half. So they would, of course, like to change that. They had a couple of injuries in the first half. They have a short bench to begin with. And you got to figure with the warm weather today, it's humid, very humid, that could be taking a toll on the fitness of the Dragons. Anyway, we are back in action. Raptors in white and Howard in burgundy. Raptors with the ball. Let's see if we can identify who's out there for the Raptors to start the second half. Got Emmy Grace Massini, number 15 is out there. Number 22, Alicia Flores is out there. In goal, Natalie Nunez Fleitas. Mary Earls is out there, number 14. Almost scored right off the bat. Also in there for the Raptors, number 24, Mina Oliver. Try to pick out the other numbers as the half progresses. Raptors totally dominated the first half. There for the Raptors, also number 14, Mary Earl. 10, Stephanie Barrios, who had an outstanding first half. Massini. There's Mary Earls. Battling, gets to Massini. And out there for Howard in the second half. Let's see if we can identify some of the Dragons out there. Number 2, Ashley Rosario. Number 7, Madeline Chavez. Number 4, Tapia. Number 11, Montoya. Number 16, Lucy Segovia. 12. Sorry, I don't have 12 on my roster. Apologize for that. Be a new addition to the team that is not on the school's website. Girls. Going to keep it down there for the Raptors. Flores. That's knocked out of bounds by Zambrano. Silva is definitely out there for the Raptors. I'm sorry, I take that back. That's Emily Garcia, number 16. Raptors on the attack. Beautiful ball. Mario shoot wide open. Ooh, missed it. Go with her left foot to the right post and just missed it. I want that one back. Beautiful lead pass there. Goal kick for Howard. Second half, if you just joined us, Raptors on top 2-0. And Howard trying to get something going. They just were completely stymied in the first half. Raptors just absolutely dominated possession. Both teams need a win. That is for sure. Into this with 3 and 6. One tie. And Howard 1 and 3 overall. For the Raptors, head coach is Licia Dorf. For assistants are Dennis Sharp, Christian Mejia, and Erica Klein. Head coach for Howard is Jose Benitez. His assistants are Shannon Riley, Diana Paez Ortiz, and Lorena Villanueva. Get up there. Feel it in. Another shot on goal, but it did stop there by Howard. Senior has been very aggressive today. Really come up to help out the defender. But the Raptors have so dominated on the offensive end that the defense really been able to get involved in the offense to some degree. Raptors defense has played at midfield, I would say 80% of the match so far, 75%. Again, very steady player. The Raptors. By the Raptors. Short. Set up a corner for MC. That'll be Barrios with the kick. Raptors scored their second goal off a corner. Barrios served it up, and De Silva knocked it in, make it 2-0. Near the end of the first half. Kicks are always exciting. Great opportunity to score. Here it comes. Just wide. He had an idea. And Zambrano just missed the header. Almost 10 minutes into the second half. Howard still now a shot on goal. Oh, there's the steal. Hey. It was by Andrea Sofia Larios. Beautiful steal. about as deep as Howard's got. Raptors quickly turning around. Here we come the other way. Passing by the Raptors. Barrios again, almost with the breakaway. Comes Earls. Oliver, not quite able to get there in time. Raptors putting a lot of pressure on him. The way they're playing and the way Howard is reacting to that, I think another goal would just about sew this one up for Montgomery College. Barrios, that she may have twisted her ankle a little bit. She's going off. And back on comes Kendra Wojcik, leading scorer for the Raptors. They yet to score today, but she leads for the season with 13 goals. So right at the top of the national list, Women's Division I. Fifth Women's Division I. Sixth in shots and sixth in game winners. 42 shots and 3 game winners. Just a freshman. Overhead are quite ominous. We're hoping we don't get any precipitation. There's a lot of rain here over the last couple of days. Goes to the foul on Howard. Oliver goes down. Saw the weather report. It says 70% chance of rain. I don't like those odds. There's a very dark cloud overhead. Lights are thing. Wojcik. Be a full kick for Howard. Over 30 minutes left in the match. The Raptors just will not let Dragons get anything going. Not a shot on goal. Free kick for the Raptors. I think we're getting a little rain now. Couple of substitutions for the Raptors. Maintain control. Gavner, Rocha. Nobody there to pick up the cross, partially blocked. Not exactly what the keeper intended there with that. Now it's still looking for their first shot on goal. Obviously, their first goal. Mario's. Nice save there. Out. Mario's got a lot on that one. That looked like goal number 3. Set up the corner. Howard is yet to have a corner. He scored off the second. Barrios with the kick. Too much on them. Good idea by Flores. He's a freshman out of Springfield. High school. Great angle. That's a much better. Howard's ball, so that's set up another goal kick. By Barrios. Taken back right away, however, by Howard. Looking for I'm sorry, number 10, Stephanie Barrios. Oh, off the top bar. Oh,
That is
rebound.
Raptors goal from number 10, Rockville alum, Stephanie Barrios.
Yep. Stephanie Barrios picks up the rebound off the McCini shot and buried it for her first goal of the match. And that makes it 3-0 Raptors. And I'm sorry, they called offsides on that. I missed that completely. Missed the official signal. So it's still 2-0. Wave that one off. And let's see if that gives Howard any kind of life. I think a third goal right there would have tied this one up in a bow for the Raptors. Howard without a shot on goal. They're down in their end. They're down in their offensive end. They're trying to get something going here. Raptors defense has really not been tested, as it's really been the offense with a lot of help from the back line dominating this match. Cini just a little too far out in front of Wojcik. Had a whole lot of green in front of her. Throws it in for Howard. Brano plays a great midfield for the Raptors. Attack. do have to give Howard's defense credit. They have been under pressure, under attack the entire match, and they have only allowed the 2 goals. I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that the match has been played at 75-80% of the match easily has been played in the attacking end for the Raptors. And it's a lot of pressure to put on the Dragon defense, and they've done a fine job considering. Yeah, they've given up 2 goals, but believe me, it could be 5 or 6 to nothing. They just can't get anything going offensively. Raptors defense just won't allow it. Rochin, Brano, shot. Nice save there by Flores. Outside the 18. Under 20 minutes to go in the match. Goal kick by Flatus. Football. Oh, another nice save. Rochin really put that on the doorstep. But Raptors could not convert. Brano just missed. A nice stop also by the Howard keeper. Knocked down, no call. Nice slide tackle. That's going to be a push and a foul. Raptors. 10. Barrios. She has played a lot of minutes today, Stephanie Barrios. Freshman out of Rockville High School. Howard desperately trying to get something going here. Feeney. That'll be Raptors ball. $20 minutes to go in the match. Over 16 minutes. Subs come in for Montgomery College. For 5, Sion Rawl has checked in for the Raptors. is out of Seneca Valley High School in Germantown. Thought she was done with soccer until she had a conversation with head coach Licia Holzendorf, and next thing you know, she's back in a uniform playing. That was the first corner kick of the afternoon for Howard, and it didn't result in much. The Raptors quickly come back the other way.
15 minutes remaining in the match. 15 minutes remaining in the match.
Race for the ball. And that'll be Howard's ball. Down deep in their end. Be a throw in, not a corner. Raptors promptly take it away. Oh, take him back. There's a shot on goal. Easy stop for Flatus. That, my friends, was the first shot on goal for Howard in the match. Some indication of the dominance of Montgomery College. Although, it's still just 2-0. Raptors have been unable to convert here in the second half. They scored 2 goals very quickly near the end of the first half. Both goals by De Silva, with assists by Barrios. I almost had another here about 10 minutes ago, but it was a violation. They waved the goal off. Ball.
Yeah.
Goal kick for Howard. For Jenny Fan now in for the Raptors. One of the co-captains of the team. There's a goal.
Another Raptor goal.
Mary Earls puts it in the back of the net.
Mary Earls.
That is Mary Earls' first goal of the season. That might throw things up. Raptors up 3-0 with just over 12 minutes to go in the contest. Given how the Raptors have been playing, very substantial lead. Mary Earls. her grandfather was a hero during the Vietnam War, and Montgomery College Television has a series which you can find on their YouTube channel called Access to History. And there is one of those Access to Histories that focuses on Mary Earle's grandfather and his service and sacrifice to the country during the Vietnam War. If you would like to check out the Montgomery College YouTube page, just go to YouTube, and for athletics events and related topics, you can go to the Montgomery College Raptors channel. Or if you'd like to see this Access History series, which is an excellent series, very well done, that's on the Montgomery College channel on YouTube. And there are hundreds of videos on there. Athletics, related to the college, students, professors, college life, all kinds of things. It's a great way to get to know Montgomery College. So check out the Montgomery College channel and the Montgomery College Raptors channel on YouTube. And while we're on the topic of social media, you can also go to the MCTV website, mctv.info, for the schedule of programming for Montgomery College Television. Montgomery College Television is on Comcast, Verizon, and RCN. One of the great things about the college having a television station is that they will be airing most, if not all, Montgomery College athletic events this year. So lots of great things on the channel. Again, go to the MCTV website at mctv.info to find out what's on when. Approaching the 10-minute mark. Another throw in for Howard. Given the shortness of Howard's bench and the fact that they had two players go down with injury early in the match, you got to give them a lot of credit. They played hard. Their defense has been under extraordinary pressure the entire match. And they can hold their heads high no matter what happens here today. Raptors just have a quicker team. It's one thing I've noticed today. Raptors are definitely a a speed advantage. Say a bit of a skill advantage. Kick for Howard. Short one. Control. Has. Toronto. Waits the ball. Covered by the Howard team. I think Senior played every minute of this match. He hasn't slowed down a bit. Span with the ball. Span is one of the co-captains for the Raptors. Or to say earlier, Coach Hosendorf refers to her as the most selfless player on the team. She'll do anything for the team. She has volunteered for basically every position on the field. When they needed help earlier in the season on the back line, she was one of the first, if not the first, to say, I'll go back there, give it a shot. And kicking to space. Fan wins that battle. Approaching the 5-minute mark left in the match. Raptors on top 3-0.
Five minutes remaining in the match. 5 minutes remaining in the match.
Win would improve the Raptors record to 4-6-1 and put them at 3-2-1 in the conference. Cini. Throw in. There's a shot. It's well off the mark. It's only the second shot on goal for Howard. Raptors keeper Natalie Flatus has really not been challenged today at all. She came into the match today with 31 saves. Opportunity for Montgomery College. Ooh, just missed the far post. That'll set up a corner for Montgomery College. They've definitely dominated that statistical category today. Barrios with the corner. Goal for the Raptors off the.
That's coming from Raptors number 9.
So Amelia Webb with that one. Amelia Webb scores off another corner. So Barrios now with her third assist of the match. And 2 of those assists have come off corners. That's the 3rd goal of the season for Amelia Webb, to go along with 4 assists, and that puts the Raptors up 4-0. So the corner kick has been a nice, effective set piece for the Raptors today, scoring twice off corners. It's always a dangerous spot for the defense, and today the Raptors have really made them pay. So now it's just a matter of running out the clock as the Raptors up 4-0 with just a minute and a half to go. They're still on the attack, however.
One minute remaining in the match. Approximately 1 minute remaining in the match.
One more attack for the Raptors. And Jenny Fan will throw it in. Cini, one of the co-captains for the Raptors. You would think she'd be tired tonight, but something tells me that Emmy Grace Massini is just like in incredible shape. Wochin. Dragging down. And they did not stop the clock because that is the end of the match. And sad to see that dragon go down. But the Raptors take this one 4-0 with the win. The Raptors improved to 4-6-1 on the season. 3-2-1 in the conference. With the loss, Howard falls to 1-4 overall, 1-3 in the conference. To quickly recap the scoring, the Raptors scored 2 in the first half, both by Cassiani da Silva, and both assists by Stephanie Barrios. And the Raptors scored 2 in the second half. Mary Earls and Amelia Webb, again off another assist from Stephanie Barrios. So for everyone here at MCTV, thank you so much for joining us for this afternoon's MC women's soccer match. Once again, the Montgomery College Raptors take this one 4-0. For everybody on the MCTV crew, I'm Michael Brown. Thanks so much for joining us.